Good morning, my dear young minds. Welcome back to biology session. How are you all? Are you fine? Right. In previous video, we have discussed two chapters: the living world and biology classification. The two chapters were completed. Today, in this session, we'll discuss two new chapters. The first one is plant kingdom. Next one, morphology of flowering plants. First, plant kingdom. Plant kingdom. Plant kingdom chapter also has more weightage for NEET object exam. At least minimum 2 questions frequently asking from this area, from this chapter. Okay. In this chapter, I will cover almost main points which are important for NEET objective exam. Clear? First one, classification. Several scientists proposed various types of classification methods. An example: artificial classification, natural classification method, phylogenetic classification, numerical taxonomy, cytotaxonomy, and chemotaxonomy. These are the various types of classification methods. Clear? The first one, artificial classification. Artificial classification was first proposed by Linnaeus, Carolus von Linnaeus. Linnaeus proposed this classification based on vegetative characters or sexual characters, particularly androecium, male character. On the other hand, artificial classification given equal weightage for both vegetative characters and sexual characters. Clear? Second one, natural classification method. Two famous scientists, George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. These two scientists together proposed natural classification method. This classification was mainly based on not only morphological characters but also anatomical characters, internal characters, okay, chemical structures, etc. And third one, phylogenetic classification. Phylogenetic classification was proposed by several world biologists like Engler, Prandtl, Takhtajan, Tippo. Like this, several world biologists together proposed phylogenetic classification, and it is mainly based on evolutionary relationships. What is the difference between, what is the connection between earlier plants and present day plants? Hence, based on evolutionary relationships, several world biologists together proposed phylogenetic classification. Next, numerical taxonomy. It is mainly computer-based mechanism. Numerical taxonomy applicable for all observable characters, and it is also given name and code for each and every observable characters. Then finally, the total information preserved in computer, that is useful for future generation. Clear? Next, cytotaxonomy. Cyto means cell. Cell include several cell organelles like mainly nucleus, nucleoplasm, chromosome, what is the shape of the chromosome, number of the chromosome, behavior of the chromosome. Based on these characters, also scientists proposed cytotaxonomy. Okay, next chemotaxonomy. Chemo means chemicals. Chemotaxonomy is mainly based on chemical composition of organisms. Okay, that's all. These are the various types of classification methods. I am expecting at least 1 or 2 questions from introduction. Important, right? Next to algae. Algae, important. What is algae? It is one of the first plant, lower living plant, aquatic plant, non-flowering plant, living in water or moistured soil. Living in water or moistured soil. Okay, mostly algae are long, narrow, slender, filamentous-like structures. Some algae grow in fresh water, some are living in marine water, some are living in brackish water, etc. And algae also called patchers of seas, primary producers of seas. Clear? Algae used as food for several aquatic animals. Algae contain several types of pigments, various types of pigments. Pigments are of various kinds. Chlorophyll pigments, carotenoid pigments, xanthophyll pigments, etc. Chlorophyll again are of various kinds. Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, and chlorophyll E also. Okay, so based on pigmentation, algae again are of 3 kinds: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. Okay. First discuss about the pigments. Chlorophyll pigments. Chlorophyll A color bluish green, blue-green means bluish green. Chlorophyll B yellowish green. Chlorophyll C brown color. Chlorophyll D red in color. Chlorophyll E light yellow to orange color. And carotenoids yellow to yellow orange. Xanthophyll yellow color. And phycobilins brown color. These are the various types of pigments. Based on the type of pigment, algae classified into 3 categories: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. First, chlorophyceae. Chloro means green color. Chlorophyceae members mostly green in color. Majority of chlorophyceae members living in fresh water and very few members living in marine water. Chlorophyceae members example: Chlamydomonas, Chlorella, Elothrix, Spirogyra, Volvax, etc. Eudogonium, etc. Eudogonium, Vacheria, many examples are there. The shape of the chloroplast vary from species to species in chlorophyceae members. Cup shape, spear shape, spherical shape, spring shape, various types. Clear? Next, chlorophyceae members used as food for several aquatic animals. Chlorophyceae members store food in the form of starch. In chlorophyceae members, reproduction occur in 3 ways: asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, and vegetative propagation. Asexual reproduction mainly occur by spores. Example: zoospores. Okay. Spores again are of various kinds: motile spores, non-motile spores. Motile spores and non-motile spores. Motile spore example: zoospores. Okay. Non-motile spores example: aplanospores. Clear? Here, fertilization are of 3 kinds: isogamy, anisogamy, and oogamy. Isogamy means two similar type of gametes fuse with each other that form zygote, called isogamy. Isogamy, best example, Elothrix. In Elothrix, both male and female gametes are motile and similar in size. In case of Spirogyra, both male and female gametes are non-motile but similar in size. That is called isogamy. Then anisogamy. Anisogamy example, Eudorina. NCERT examples. Okay. In Eudorina, male gamete is motile, female gamete is non-motile. Called anisogamy. Clear? Next, Oogamous. Oogamous means motile male gamete fused with non-motile female gamete. Motile male gamete fused with non-motile female gamete. That is known as oogamy. Oogamy, best example, fucus means Phaeophyce members. Phaeophyce members, fucus, and chlorophyce members, Volvax, etc. Remember, isogamy, anisogamy, oogamy, differences with examples. That's all. That is about sexual mode of reproduction. And mostly asexual reproduction takes place by spores like zoospores, apnospores, chlamydospores, etc. And vegetative propagation occur by fragmentation. The total filament cut into small fragments. Again, each filament develop into an individual algae. That is called fragmentation. That is briefly about chlorophyce. One more point, in chlorophyce, number of gametes, that means number of filaments or number of flagella. Number of flagella 2 to 8. 2 to 8. Anterior. Number of flagella in chlorophyce members, minimum 2, maximum 8. Position anterior means front side. That's all. Next to Phaeophyce. Phaeophyce. Phaeophyce also called brown algae. Brown algae. Brown algae mostly grow in marine water. Very few members living in fresh water and brackish water. Brackish means muddy water, clay water. Phaeophyce, some examples: Laminaria, Sargassum, Ectocarpus, Dictyota, Fucus. These are some examples of Phaeophyce members. In Phaeophyce, common pigments are chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. Chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. Phaeophyce members economically very important. In Phaeophyce members, cell wall is made up of algin. Algin is a type of colloid, hydrocolloid. It withheld water, so used as packaging material for transshipment of any living matter like fruit, vegetables, eggs, flowers, etc. So algin is cell wall material in Phaeophyce members. Clear? And kelps. Kelps belongs to Phaeophyce members. Kelps grow over several meters height in seas and oceans. And Laminaria, kelps together widely using in preparation of iodine salt, iodized salt. So Phaeophyce members has more economic importance. When you read this topic, once you go through NCERT, read paragraph lines. Apart from that, one study carefully diagrams. See what is the shape of the diagram, what is the name of the diagram, what is the importance of diagram, what is the color of the diagram, everything important. Chlorophyce examples, Phaeophyce examples. Similarly, Rhodophyce examples, their structures. Clear? Next, in Phaeophyce members, each gamete has two flagella. Unequal and lateral. Number of flagella in Phaeophyce members only 2. In Chlorophyce 2 to 8. 2 to 8 anterior, 2 lateral side. Differences. Clear? Sometimes question paper setter focus on this area. Remember, don't forget. In NCERT book, one box point given. Comparison between Chlorophyce, Phaeophyce and Rhodophyce. All characters. The box point very important. I am expecting at least 1 or 2 questions from box point only. Almost all main points covered in box point. In PFIC, reserve food material laminarin and mannitol. Laminarin and mannitol. Next, rhodophysi. Rhodophysi. Rhodophysi, red algae. Like PFIC, rhodophysi members also mostly grow in marine water. They grow nearly over several feet depth. The area where little light penetrate into deeper layers of water. Clear? And very few members of rhodophysi grow in marine water. That means salt water. Not salt water, fresh water or brackish water. Once repeat, majority of rhodophysi members grow in marine water. Very few members of rhodophysi grow in fresh water or brackish water. Examples of rhodophysi: Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gelidium, Gracilaria. 4 examples. Remember, don't forget. Rhodophysi also having more economic importance because Gelidium and Gracilaria use as agar medium. Agar medium widely using in preparation of gels, jellies, ice creams, and agar also widely using in biotechnology experiments for the separation of DNA fragments based on their size, length and width. Recall one secondary syllabus, biotechnology, principles and process. Clear? Okay. And Porphyra, one of the rhodophysi member used as food for aquatic animals, even for cattle. That is the one more, Carrageen. Carrageen is cell wall material of rhodophysi members. Algin, Phaeophysi. Carrageen, rhodophysi. Both are having a hydrophilic nature, hydrocolloidal nature, absorb water with held water, and widely using as packaging material for transshipment of biological materials like fruits, flowers, eggs, meat, etc. Clear? You compulsory go through once comparative study between chlorophysi, Phaeophysi and rhodophysi. Next, in rhodophysi, gametes are non-motile. Gametes are non-motile due to lack of flagella. No flagella in rhodophysi members. Compare with chlorophysi and Phaeophysi, rhodophysi are somewhat developed algae. A reserve food material of rhodophysi is Floridian starch. Floridian starch. Okay. Life cycle. Main life cycle is mostly majority of algae belongs to haplontic life cycle. Haplontic life cycle. But in Phaeophysi members, some members, particularly Ectocarpus and kelps, shows haplodiplontic life cycle. Haplodiplontic life cycle. Whereas in rhodophysi members, an example, Polysiphonia. Polysiphonia also exhibit haplodiplontic life cycle. One more important point, in Phaeophysi members, Fucus, a brown algae, Fucus exhibit diplontic life cycle. Diplontic life cycle like gymnosperms and angiosperms. This is about life cycle. Life cycle also very important for NEET objective exam. Remember, don't forget. The total algae topic completed. Now bryophytes. Bryophytes. Here I am covering almost main points that are important for NEET objective and KCET exam. Try to understand. Clear? Bryophytes. Study of bryology means study of bryophyte is called bryology. A famous scientist Brunn first coined the term bryophytes. Okay. Bryophytes are the first amphibian plants because they depend on water for two purposes. One is for fertilization and second one for growth of the gametophyte. Clear? Hence, bryophytes also called Amphibians of the plant kingdom. These are the first land plants. First land plants. True roots, true stems, true leaves were absent. False roots, false stems, and false leaves were present. False root, rhizoid. False stem, colloid. False leaf, phylloid. Okay? Rhizoid, colloid, and phylloid. Phylloid. Root, stem, leaf. It's all false. False root, false stem, false leaf. False root is called rhizoid, false stem colloid, false leaf phylloid. Because these are first land plants, lower living plants, non-flowering plants, amphibian plants, atracheophytes, antheridiates, archegoniates. Antheridiate means they have antheridium as male sex organ. Archegoniates having archegonium as female sex organ. Atracheophytes means trachea system absent. Trachea means vascular tissues, xylem tissues, phloem tissues are absent in bryophytes, called atracheophytes. These are all general features of bryophytes. You must focus on this area, don't forget. Next, all bryophytes are homosporous plants. Homosporous plants means produce similar type of spores, same type of spores. Clear? Next, bryophytes can be classified into three categories: hepatic apsida, anthoceratopsida, and bryopsida. Hepatic apsida, anthoceratopsida, and bryopsida. Hepatic apsida common name liverworts. Liverworts example Marchantia, Rixia, and Porella. Marchantia, Rixia, and Porella. Second one, Anthoceratopsida. Anthoceratopsida example Anthoceras, but it is not there in NCERT. Leave it. It is out of NCERT syllabus. Nobody asks any question from Anthoceratopsida, so leave it. And the third one, Bryopsida. Bryopsida common name moss plants, mosses. Mosses example Funaria, Sphagnum, etc. Funaria, Sphagnum, Polytrichum, etc. Remember examples. Liverworts example Marchantia, Rixia, Porella. Mosses example Sphagnum, Funaria, Polytrichum. That's all. Okay. Once you go through Marchantia. Marchantia liverwort. Marchantia, a dioecious plant. Dioecious, monoecious, two terms are there. Dioecious means unisexual plant. Monoecious, bisexual plant. Don't confuse. Male Marchantia different, female different. Male Marchantia having antheridophore as sex organ, whereas female Marchantia it has archegoniophore as female sex organ. Okay, once you go through diagrammatic representation of a male Marchantia, female Marchantia, observe differences between these two, because I am unable to draw diagram on board because due to lack of time. We have very limited time. Hope you understood my feelings. Clear? So go through NCERT, observe male Marchantia diagram, female Marchantia diagram, observe difference between these two. Marchantia reproduce in two ways, sexually and vegetatively. Sexually through sex organs. Antheridium produce antherozoids. Antheridium, male character, produce antherozoids that are equal to sperms. And archegonium means archegoniophore produce an egg. Antheridium produce antherozoids. No? Antherozoids discharge into surrounding immediate water. Through stream of water, it moves and reaches to archegonium. Enter into archegonium. Fuse with egg cell. That is called fertilization. Fertilization results in zygote. Zygote develop into that means then zygote undergo meiosis. Produce spores. Then all spores, all haploid spores discharge into surrounding substratum, settle on the substratum. When the conditions are favorable, all spores germinate. On germination, spores gives rise new protonema. Then protonema develop into prothallus. Prothallus bear two sex organs, antheridium, archegonium. Antheridium and archegonium. Clear? Antheridium produce antherozoids, means male character. Archegonium produce egg cells. So again fertilization takes place. This is the life cycle of bryophytes. Life cycle of bryophytes. There are two characters: gametophyte character, sporophyte character. Gametophyte character, sporophyte character. Gametophyte haploid, sporophyte diploid. Gametophyte character alternate sporophyte, and sporophyte character also alternate gametophyte. This type of life cycle is known as haplodiplontic life cycle or alternation of generations. Alternation of generations. Hope you understood. Clear? Gametophyte is independent. Sporophyte is dependent. Dependent. Sporophyte dependent on gametophyte for food. But gametophyte is independent. Based on this concept, such type of life cycle is known as haplodiplontic life cycle. It is common in bryophytes. Okay. Markantia in such a way reproduce sexually. Next, vegetative reproduction by Jamma cups. Jamma cups. Jamma cups. These are all vegetative birds. From dorsal side of the thallus, a small cup-like structure develops called Jamma cups. Jamma cup, each Jamma cup bear 2 to many Jamma. Jamma equals to bud. And each Jamma cup contain large number of rhizoids, means false roots. If you want to detach one of the Jamma cup, place in soil. After some time period, Jamma cup develop into an individual Markantia. In such a way, Markantia also reproduce by vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. Hope you understood. What is thallus? Thallus means undifferentiated mass of tissue is called thallus. Undifferentiated or unorganized mass of tissue is known as thallus. It is flat in shape, leafy-like structure. Mostly they grow in cool, damp and shade areas. They grow on hilly areas, mostly hilly areas, shady areas, damp areas, humid areas, etc. That is about liverworts. Clear? Next to mosses, moss plants. Bryopsida also commonly called moss plants. Moss plants example Funaria. You once go through Funaria diagram. Go through NCERT. It has two parts: gametophyte, sporophyte. Okay, gametophyte character, sporophyte character. Gametophyte character is independent. Sporophyte is dependent. Sporophyte has three parts: foot, seta and capsule. Foot, seta and capsule. Clear? Foot, seta and capsule. Capsule. Gametophyte character and it is sporophyte. Gametophyte character, sporophyte character. Clear? Structure of Funaria. Structure of Funaria. One of the moss plants. Gametophyte character, bear too many false leaves. Due to presence of leaves, gametophyte perform photosynthesis. And it is independent. Sporophyte, dependent on gametophyte. It has three parts: foot, seat, and capsule. Uh, Capsule filled with the spore mother cells. Spore mother cells. It is operculum. It is operculum or lid. After maturation of capsule, the part of the lid ruptured and spores disperse into surroundings. Spores settle on soil. These are all spores. Spore mother cells ploidy to N, diploid. Spore ploidy, haploid. Because spore mother cells undergo meiosis, produce haploid spores. Then spore disperse into surroundings, settle on the substratum. When the conditions are favorable, spores germinate, produce protonema. They produce protonema. This is protonema. Protonema. Then again, protonema develop into gametophyte. Gametophyte. This is gametophyte. Okay, primitive stage of the gametophyte. Primitive stage of the gametophyte and mature stage of the gametophyte. Primitive stage of the gametophyte bear two sex characters, female character and male character. Female character and male character. Female character archegonium, male character antheridium. Antheridium produce antherozoids. Archegonium produce an egg. Clear? This is the life cycle of bryophytes. So gametophyte character alternates sporophyte, and sporophyte character again alternates gametophyte. That is known as alternation of generations. Very important point. Clear? One more point. Antheridium produce antherozoids. Antherozoids discharge into surrounding stream of water. And through stream of water, antherozoids come and fuse with archegonium. The process of movement of antherozoids through stream of water is called zygogamous oogamy. Zygogamous oogamy. Zygogamous oogamy. Once I repeat, the process of movement of antherozoids means sperms, male gametes, through stream of water towards archegonium is known as zygogamous oogamy. One more term is there, siphonogamous oogamy. Siphonogamous oogamy means movement of male gametes through pollen tube. Through pollen tube is called siphonogamous oogamy. Siphonogamous oogamy common in higher plants like angiosperms and gymnosperms. That's all. But zygogamous oogamy is common in all bryophytes and all pteridophytes. Hope you understood. Are you getting my point? This is about bryophytes. In bryophytes, mosses, particularly sphagnum, it has more economic importance. We must read economic importance of bryophytes, algae and all. Sphagnum, a type of colloidal material that used as package material for transshipment of any biological materials for longer distances, over longer distances. Clear? The dead and dried preserved sphagnum is called peat moss. Peat moss. Peat moss widely using as dressing material for dressing for woundings. Clear? It is also widely using as tar for laying roads. In such a way, there are many economic importance from moss plants. The whole topic of bryophytes completed. Next topic, pteridophytes. 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 Pteridophytes somewhat higher living plants than to that of algae and bryophytes. Okay, and uh, pteridophytes are antheridiates, archegoniates, tracheophytes, because first vascular tissues like xylem tissues, phloem tissues first found in pteridophytes. Hence pteridophytes are called tracheophytes. First tracheophytes. Antheridiates having antheridium. Archegoniates having archegonium as female sex character. Naturally, pteridophytes also called botanical snakes of the plant kingdom. Botanical snakes of the plant kingdom. True roots, true stems, and true leaves are present in pteridophytes. Even steel. What is steel? Recall one's anatomy of flowering plants. Steel in the sense combination of some tissues like pericycle, xylem tissues, phloem tissues, and pith. The combination of these four tissues combined to call steel. Steel character first found in pteridophytes. Okay. Next, strobili. Strobili character also first found in pteridophytes. Strobili means cone. Cone-like structure is called strobili. Strobili means cone. Large number of sporophylls. Large number of sporophylls radially arranged along the length of the central axis. Along the length of the central axis. Best example, equigetum. Best example, equigetum. Best example, equigetum. Okay. Okay. Strobili. Sporophyll. Sporophyll. Example, equigetum. Plant name, equigetum. One of the pteridophytes. Pteridophytes, best example, equigetum, Selaginella, Salvinia, fern plants, cedrus plants. Many examples are there. Remember general characteristic features of pteridophytes and examples of pteridophytes, etc. Clear? Here large number of sporophylls aligned radially arranged along the length of the central axis. Each circle equals to one sporophyll. Sporophyll bear large number of sporangia on their ventral side, on their ventral surface. Clear? Suppose it is one of the sporophyll. One of the sporophyll. Microsporangia. 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 Okay. So leaf bear two to many microsporangia on their ventral surface. Microsporangia produce microspores. Microspores disperse into surroundings. Settle on the substratum. Settle on the substratum. When the conditions are favorable, microspores germinate. On germination, microspores, the spores gives rise new protonema. New protonema. In pteridophytes, main plant body is called sporophyte. Sporophyte is independent. Gametophyte also independent. Both are independent. Sporophyte character alternates gametophyte, and again gametophyte character also alternates sporophyte. That is called alternation of generations, like bryophytes. One main difference, in bryophytes, gametophyte is dominant and independent. Sporophyte is dependent. In case of pteridophytes, sporophyte is independent. Gametophyte also independent. Both are independent. What are differences? Hope you understood. Clear? These are all important points for NEET object exam. Remember, don't forget. Again, pteridophytes can be classified into various classes like Lycopsida, Sphenopsida, Pteropsida, etc. Lycopsida example, Lycopodium. Sphenopsida example, Equigetum. Pteropsida example, that means Pteropsida example, Cetrus plants. Cedrus plants. Okay, Dictyota, not Dictyota, Cedrus plants. That is the classification of pteridophytes. Pteridophytes somewhat higher living plants than that of algae and bryophytes. The type of life cycle found in pteridophyte is haplodiplontic life cycle. It is common. Haplodiplontic life cycle. Clear? Next, gymnosperms. Before that, one more point about pteridophytes. In pteridophytes, majority of plants are homosporous plants. They produce similar type of spores. But a few plants are heterosporous plants. Heterosporous plants example, Selaginella and Salvinia. Selaginella and Salvinia. Selaginella and Salvinia. Two diagrams given in NCERT. In Salvinia, true roots are absent. True roots are absent. Okay. Suppose it is a twig, small twig of small twig. Okay. These and all are not roots. These are modified leaves. Modified leaves. Remember, very important. Modified leaves. That means what? True roots are absent in Salvinia particularly. It is an aquatic plant living in water. Particularly ventral side leaves modify into and differentiate into root-like structures. That's all. That is about pteridophytes. So Selaginella and Salvinia are heterosporous plants. They produce two types of spores: microspores, macrospores. Microspores, small in size, male character. Macrospores, big in size, female character. That's all. Next to gymnosperms. Gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are higher living plants than to that of algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. Gymnos means naked, sperma means seeds. Naked, seed producing plants are called gymnosperms. Example, Pinus, Cycas, Neetum, Ginkgo, etc. Okay, this and all higher living plants. Gymnosperms, in gymnosperms, vascular tissue system well developed. Seed character also well developed. But precursor of seed character first found in pteridophytes. Because in pteridophytes, zygote develop into embryo within the gametophyte. Zygote develop into embryo within the gametophyte. That is first precursor of seed character. Precursor of seed character first found in pteridophytes. Based on these characters, gymnosperm plants developed and origin from pteridophytes. Clear? And a true seed character, true seeds, well developed seed character first found in gymnosperms. But around seed, fruit wall absent, ovary wall absent. Hence, seeds are naked. Such plants are called gymnosperms. Well developed plants. Okay. Antheridium character absent, but archegonium character is present. Instead of antheridium, pollen grain character is there. Pollen grain character. Pollen grain, it has wing shape. pollen grain has wing-shaped wings that has pair of wing that helps in pollination. Clear? Vascular tissues well developed in gymnosperms. Steel or character also very well developed in gymnosperms. Pinus, Cycas, Neetum, Ginkgo, etc. Pinus, monoecious plant. Cycas, dioecious plant. Ginkgo, living fossil. Etc. Special characters. Pinus, a monoecious plant. That means single plant produce both male strobili and female strobili in single plant. Cycas, dioecious plant. Male cycas different, female cycas different. Male cycas produce male strobili. Male strobili equals to male flower. A female strobili equals to female flower. But true flowers are absent in gymnosperms. Flower character completely absent in gymnosperms. Clear? Instead of flowers, strobili character found in gymnosperms. Male strobili, female strobili. Male strobili equals to male character, male flower. Female strobili equals to female character or female flower. That's all. And Ginkgo, it is best example for living fossil. Of course, even Cycas also one of the living fossil, because nowadays their population gradually decrease on the earth. But in earlier days, their population was high on the globe, on the land. But due to deforestation and any other natural reasons, their population nowadays going to extinct. Nowadays, very limited number of plants of Ginkgo and Cycas living on the earth. Such plants are called living fossils. Hope you understood. Clear? Now go through strobili character. Strobili, very important. Microsporophyll, megasporophyll. Microsporophyll produce microsporangia. Megasporophyll produces megasporangia. And microsporangia produce microspores. Whereas megasporangia produce megaspore. Comparison. Megaspore. Microspore modify into pollen grain. Whereas megaspore differentiate into female gametophyte. Clear? Male character, female character. Observe differences, don't confuse. Microsporophyll bear microsporangia and megasporophyll bear megasporangia. Microsporophyll equals to male strobili or male cone. Megasporophyll equals to female strobili or female cone. Microsporangia produce large number of microspores, whereas megasporangia produce large number of megaspores. Microspores modify into pollen grain. Okay, microspores differentiate into pollen grain. The pollen grain consists of a pair of wing. That wing-like structure helps in pollination. That's all. And megaspore modify into female gametophyte. Each female gametophyte bear 2 eggs. So fertilization occur by Siphonogamous oogami. Clear? That is about sexual characteristic features of gymnosperms. Clear? Okay. Next, angiosperms. Angiosperms. One more main point about gymnosperms. The type of life cycle in gymnosperm is diplontic life cycle, because main plant body is called sporophyte, that is the independent and dominant. The pleidia sporophyte is diploid. Sporophyte means main plant body is called sporophyte. That's all. Okay. In gymnosperms, gametophyte again depend on sporophyte. Gametophyte character dependent on sporophyte in case of gymnosperms. While in pteridophytes, sporophyte independent, gametophyte also independent. Don't confuse. In case of bryophytes, gametophyte independent, sporophyte dependent. These characteristic features very important. You must concentrate on this area. Now angiosperms. These are higher living plants. It include smallest Wolffia plant to tallest eucalyptus. Wolffia, an aquatic plant living in water. We can accommodate several hundreds of Wolffia plants on our fingertips. Imagine what is the size of Wolffia. It is a type of dicot plant living in water. And some plants are insectivorous plants like Nepenthes, Drosera, Dionaea, pitcher plants, etc. And some are parasitic plants. Example, Cuspida reflexa, Rafflesia, etc. Okay. And all dicot plants, monocot plants belongs to angiosperms. You know well difference between dicot plant and monocot plants. Clear? So compare with algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes and gymnosperms, angiosperms were well developed plants, higher living plants. The type of life cycle in angiosperm is diplontic life cycle like gymnosperms. In NCERT book clearly mentioned life cycle of angiosperm. Once you go through diagrammatic representation, observe a male character, female character, fertilization. Okay. What is the structure of embryo sac? Suppose it is embryo sac. It has 3 antipodal cells, 2 polar nuclei, 1 egg cell and 2 synergids. Okay. Pollen tube. It is pollen tube. Pollen tube enter female gametophyte. Pollen tube carry 2 male gametes. One of the male gamete fuse with egg cell. That is called first fertilization. Another male gamete fuse with polar nuclei, called second fertilization. Okay. First fertilization also called syngamy, and second fertilization also called triple fusion. Triple fusion means fusion of 3 nuclei. Fusion of 1, 2, 3 nuclei called triple fusion. Triple fusion result in PEN. PEN stands for primary endosperm nucleus. And the first fertilization result in zygote. Zygote develop into embryo. And pen develop into endosperm. Here endosperm nourishes embryo. The ploidy of zygote 2n diploid. Ploidy of pen 3n triploid. Hope you understood. So pen stands for primary endosperm nucleus. It modify into a mature endosperm which nourishes embryo. Then embryo develop into seed. That is about angiosperms. Okay, clear? There are 3 types of life cycles: haplontic life cycle, diplontic life cycle, haplodiplontic life cycle. First, haplontic life cycle. Example, majority of algae or haplontic life cycle. Next, haplodiplontic life cycle. Example, all bryophytes and all pteridophytes. Next, diplontic life cycle. Example, all gymnosperms and all angiosperms. But some exceptions are there. From few phase members, a plant ficus. Ficus also shows diplontic life cycle. Next, kelps and sargassum, few phase members. These two exhibit haplodiplontic life cycle. From Rhodophyceae, Polysiphonia plant exhibit haplodiplontic life cycle. These are all exceptions. You must concentrate on exceptions. I am expecting questions from exceptions particularly. That's all. That is about haplodic life cycle, diplontic and haplodiplontic life cycle. In NCERT book, 3 diagrams clearly mentioned. Once you go through 3 diagrams and observe difference between these 3 diagrams. Remember examples. That's all. The whole chapter plant kingdom is completed. Now one more chapter, morphology of flowering plants. Morphology. Morphology of flowering plants. It is lengthy chapter. It has a large number of topics, different types of topics. Very important. It has more weightage for NEET object exam. Minimum 3 questions, maximum 5 questions asking from this chapter in every NEET object exam. Okay. First character, root character. Root, types of root, root modifications. Next, stem functions, stem modifications. Next, leaf, parts in a leaf, types of leaves, leaf modifications. After leaf, flower. Okay. Before flower, inflorescence, types of inflorescence. Next, flower character, parts in a flower. After flower, fruit. After fruit, seed. After seed, 3 families. So many concepts are there. First we will discuss about root character. As all of you know, root is underground part of the plant, grow into deeper layers of soil. You once go through functions of root, types of root, taproot system, fibrous, adventitious root system, 3 types, differences important. That's all. Next, functions of root also you know very well. Root provide physical support to the plant body. In some plants, root store food material like carrot, beetroot, radish. These are the general points. You once go through NCERT, that's enough. Clear? And regions of the root. The diagram, paragraph matter important. There are 3 regions. Region of meristematic activity, region of elongation, region of maturation. 3 parts. Because for drawing diagram, no time. That is the problem. Go through NCERT book diagram, study carefully, observe all parts. Clear? Next concept, root modifications. Modifications of root. In some plants, roots store food material. Radish, carrot, beetroot, turnip, sweet potato, etc. In some plants, root perform respiration. Example, pneumatophores, mangrove plants, respiratory roots, aerial roots. In some plants, roots arise other than the radicle. Example, prop roots, stilt roots, pillar roots, etc. Prop root also called pillar roots. Example, banyan tree. In banyan tree, side branches are very big in size, more weight. So for that purpose, prop roots or pillar roots provide additional support to the side branches. In case of sugarcane, jowar and bajra, basal nodes gives rise special roots called stilt roots or brace roots. That provide additional support to the plant. Clear? In some plants, root absorb moisture from surrounding atmosphere. Example, vanda, velamen roots. Clear? That is about modifications of root. Next, stem character. Stem is aerial part of the plant. Stem provide physical support to the all parts of the plant. You know functions of stem. you read once paragraph lines, NCERT book paragraph lines. Stem modification very important. Stem modification are of three kinds: underground stem modifications, subaerial stem modifications, aerial stem modifications. First, underground stem modifications. Example: tuber, bulb, corm, rhizome. Four examples. Tuber example, potato. Bulb example, onion. Corm example, colocasia or jamaicon. Colocasia or amorphophallus. Amorphophallus also called jamaicon. And rhizome. Rhizome example, ginger. Ginger and what do you call it? Curcuma longa. Turmeric. You go through once these four examples. Remember, don't forget. Next, underground stem modifications. Subaerial stem modifications. Example: runners, suckers, stolons, and offsets. Four types with examples. Remember. Next, area stem modifications. Stem tendrils, spines, thorns, phylloclad, cladophyll, etc. Phylloclad, cladophyll, phylloclad example: opuntia, cactus, and other plants. Cladophyll example: asparagus, etc. Asparagus, one of the monocot plant, desert plant. Roots are bulged and store food material in asparagus. Such roots are called fasciculated roots. Clear? Phylloclad, cladophyll. Differences important. Phylloclad means modified stem. Stem modification, modified stem. Cladophyll means modified branch. Stem, branch. Remember blindly, don't confuse one compulsory question from phylloclad and cladophyll. Phylloclad means modified stem, example opuntia, cactus, etc. Cladophyll means modified branch, example asparagus. Okay, and tendril. What is tendril? Long, narrow, slender, thin, wiry structures are called tendrils. Spines, what do you call that? Thorns. These are all stem modifications, area stem modifications. Read all these characteristic features. Clear? Stem character also completed. Next to leaf character. Leaf. You know well what is leaf? What are the parts in a leaf? Okay. Midrib, veins, veinlets, leaf margin, lamina, blade, apex, base, stipules, everything you know very well. Types of leaves. Leaves broadly are of two kinds: simple leaf, compound leaf. Okay, simple leaf means entire leaf. Compound leaf means total leaf lamina break into small pieces called leaflets. Leaf with leaflet is called compound leaf. Compound leaf again are of two kinds: pinnately compound leaf, palmately compound leaf. Okay, pinnately compound leaf example: tamarind leaf, neem leaf, etc. Palmately compound leaf example: silk cotton, Bombaxiba. Bombaxiba scientific name, common name silk cotton. Okay, so the classification of leaf is very important. Simple leaf, compound leaf, pinnately compound leaf, palmately compound leaf, terminology, examples, remember, don't forget. Next, venation. Venation are of two kinds: reticulate venation, parallel venation. Reticulate common in all dicot leaf, whereas parallel venation quite common in all monocot leaves. The differences you know very well, again discussion no need. Clear? Next, phyllotaxy. are of three kinds: opposite phyllotaxy, alternate phyllotaxy, and hold phyllotaxy. Three types important. Opposite phyllotaxy, example China rose, sunflower. And opposite phyllotaxy, example Calotropis and Goa. Hold phyllotaxy, example Nerium. Clear? So remember NCERT book examples, because morphology chapter mainly based on examples and diagrams. You must remember this point, don't forget. So my suggestion, read NCERT lines only thoroughly. Remember NCERT examples. Opposite phyllotaxy examples, alternate phyllotaxy examples, hold phyllotaxy examples. Remember NCERT book examples, that is more than enough. Clear? That is about phyllotaxy. The total leaf character completed, followed by inflorescence. Inflorescence are of two kinds: racemose and cymose. First, what is inflorescence? The mode of arrangement of flowers on the floral axis or peduncle is known as inflorescence. Even the arrangement of flower also gives beauty to the nature. Yes or no? Not only color of flower, not only smell of flower, even pattern, the arrangement of flower also gives beauty to the nature. Hence, the mode of arrangement of flowers on floral axis, also called peduncle, is known as inflorescence. It is broadly are of two kinds: racemose inflorescence and cymose inflorescence. Racemose means inflorescence grow continuously, that shows indefinite growth, means continuous growth. Flowers arise from base to tip. First flower, second flower, third, 4, 5, 6, like that. See here? First flower, second flower, 3, 4, 5. Acropetal succession. The mode of arrangement of flowers from base to tip of the axis, central axis, is called acropetal succession. So flowers arise from base to tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. Such type of arrangement of flower is called racemose inflorescence. Cymose means reverse. Flowers arise from base to tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reverse. Clear? That is called basipetal. Hope you understood. When flower arise from tip to base of the axis, central axis, that is known as cymose inflorescence, also called basipetal succession. First flower, second flower, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flower arise from tip to base. Tip to base means basipetal. Base to tip means acropetal. Acropetal succession common in racemose inflorescence. It shows indefinite growth, means continuous growth, that is called racemose. Whereas cymose shows limited growth, definite growth, limited growth, called cymose inflorescence. That's all. Okay. Next to flower character. Flower. You know well, flower, types of flower, what are the parts in a flower, etc. Flowers broadly are of two kinds: unisexual, bisexual. Okay, and unisexual flower has only 3 whorls: sepal, petal, and any one of the sex character, either male or female. Okay, so unisexual flower has 3 whorls: 1, 2, 3. Unisexual. Unisexual. Whereas bisexual flower has 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sepal, petal, androecium and gynoecium. Sepal, petal, any 6 character. Clear? Unisexual flower, bisexual flower. Bisexual flower. Hope you understood. Unisexual flowers also called incomplete flower, whereas bisexual also called complete flower. Outermost whorl of the flower possesses sepals. Second whorl of the flower possesses petals. Thirdmost whorl of the flower contains androecium. Innermost whorl of the flower comprises gynoecium. Group of sepals called calyx. Group of petals corolla. Group of stamens androecium. Group of pistil or carpel called gynoecium. These are all technical terms. You must know all these things. Remember, don't forget. Hope you understood. Clear? Next, what is polycephalus? Polycephalus means sepals free. Gamocephalus, fused sepals. Polypetalus, petals free. Gamopetalus means fused petals. Actinomorphic, zygomorphic. Actinomorphic means radial symmetry. Zygomorphic means bilateral symmetry. This terminology, its meaning already you know very well, but revision important. You must revise all these things. Clear? Next, flowers are of 3 kinds: trimerous flower, tetramerous flower, pentamerous flower, etc. Trimerous means 3 sepals, 3 petals. Tetramerous 4 plus 4. Pentamerous 5 plus 5. Polymerous more than 5. That's all. Clear? You must learn NCERT book paragraph lines. Sepal character, read sepal character paragraph line. Petal characters, and stamen characters. Gynoecium characters. Clear? Next, estivation. Estivation are of various kinds. Estivation are of broadly 4 kinds. What is estivation? The mode of arrangement of sepals or petals on the thalamus is known as estivation. Are of 4 kinds: velvet estivation, twisted estivation, imbricate estivation, and vegillary estivation. 4 types with examples important. Clear? Even diagrams also important. Diagram important, examples important, their names also important. That's all. Okay. Next to some terms are there. Mono regarding stamen. When you think about stamen, monoadelphous, diadelphous, polyadelphous, etc. When you think about stamen, because stamen is the male character, stamen has 2 parts: filamento and anther. Okay. Epicephalus, epipetalus. When stamen attached with sepal, it is called epicephalus. When stamen attached with petal, that is called epipetalus. Perianth means stamen attached with sepal or petal. Perianth means similar type of sepal and petal is called perianth. Perianth also called tepal. Petal different, tepal different. You don't confuse. Tepal example: water lily. Monoadelphous means all stamens unite into one bundle. Example: hibiscus, China rose. Diadelphous, all stamens united into 2 bundles, called diadelphous. Example: Fabaceae family members. In Fabaceae, total number of stamens are 10. Out of 10 is separate, 9 are united. So 9 plus 1 arrangement, that is called diadelphous, 2 bundles. Polyadelphous, number of bundles are many. Example: citrus. citrus. That is about monoadelphous, diadelphous and polyadelphous. Male character also completed. Next, female character, gynoecium. Female character, gynoecium. You know very well what is gynoecium, what are the parts in gynoecium. Broadly, gynoecium consists of three parts: ovary, style and stigma. Ovary, style and stigma. Ovary bear 2 to many ovules. Style, ovary, style, stigma, ovules. Clear? Ovary bear 2 to many ovules. Ovule attached with placenta with the stipule with help of stalk, that is called stipule. Okay. Next, ovary continue as long, narrow, slender structure called style. Style ends with stigma. Stigma is landing platform for pollen grains. Pollen grain settle on the stigma. Germinate on the stigma. Develop pollen tube. Then pollen tube grow towards ovule. See, pollen settle on the stigma, germinate on the stigma, develop pollen tube into stigma cells, style cells, ovary cells. Finally, pollen tube move towards ovule. Each ovule contains embryo sac. Embryo sac has 7 cells and 8 nuclei. That you know very well. 7 cells and 8 nuclei. Thereby, fertilization takes place. So, double fertilization is quite common in all angiosperms because fertilization occurs twice in angiosperms. Hence, double fertilization is unique characteristic feature of all angiosperms. Clear? That is about gynoecium. When you think about placentation, placenta is very important. Placentation. Placentation. What is placentation? The mode of arrangement of ovules within the ovary on the placenta is called placentation. Are of various kinds: marginal placentation, parietal placentation, axillary placentation, precentral placentation, and basal placentation. All 5 types along with examples important. One question compulsory from placentation. Clear, right? Next character, that is about flower and all flower parts to be covered. Next, fruit character. Fruit. Broadly, fruit are of 2 kinds: fleshy fruits, dry fruits. But in according to NCERT, you must know only fleshy fruits. Dry fruits, no need. When fruit wall is fleshy, fruit wall has 3 distinct layers: epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. Epicarp, outer layer; mesocarp, middle layer; endocarp, innermost layer. Fleshy fruit example: mango and coconut. Green coconut. In mango, outer layer epicarp, middle pulp mesocarp, seed coat endocarp. In case of raw coconut, that means green coconut, outer soft green layer is there, no? That is called mesocarp. Epicarp. Middle coir mesocarp. Innermost cup, stony layer is there, stony layer, that is called endocarp. So, in case of mango, epicarp and mesocarp are edible. Endocarp is non-edible, non-eatable. While in coconut, epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp, these 3 are non-edible. But which is edible? Liquid endosperm. Liquid endosperm and cellular endosperm are edible part in coconut. Hope you understood. Clear? Next, the seed character. That is about fruit character. After completion of fruit, next character is seed. Seed are of 2 kinds: dicot seed, monocot seed. Remember, structure of dicot seed, structure of monocot seed. Both important. Don't do neglect. LS of monocot seed diagram very important. Once study the structure of LS of monocot seed, observe what are the parts in diagram. Epicotyle, hypocotyle, coleorhiza, scutellum, endosperm, aileron layer, seed coat. This is all very important. Study carefully once or twice. Dicot seed character, monocot seed character, etc. Clear? After seed, next topic, families. Families. There are three families: Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae. Three families very important. Of course, Brassicaceae family floral diagram also mentioned. Once you go through Brassicaceae family floral diagram, floral formula important. You must know symbols. Symbols meaning very important. First BR, EBR, BR, BRL, EBR, EBRL, KCAG, and symbols: arrow mark symbol, plus symbol, both arrow mark and plus symbol, bracket symbol, infinite. The symbol is very important. BR means bract. A flower with the bract is called bracteate flower. BRL, bracteolate. Bracteolate. EBR, abracteolate. EBRL, abracteolate. Okay. KCAG, K for calyx, C for corolla, A for androecium, G for gynoecium. Next, superior ovary, inferior ovary, perigynous. Okay, flowers are of three kinds: hypogynous flower, perigynous flower, epigynous flower. Three types with examples, very important. Remember, don't forget. Next, arrow mark male flower, plus symbol female flower, both means bisexual. Bracket means united, sepals united, petals united, like that. Okay. So bracket symbol represent united. Infinite means number of sepals, petals, more, many, that is called infinite. So you must know all symbols, their meaning. Then go through families. First Fabaceae, then Solanaceae, Liliaceae. You leave vegetative characters, no problem, but don't leave flower characters. Floral characters very important. Clear? First flower character, what type of inflorescence. Next go through floral diagram, floral formula, that's all. First to study floral diagram of three families: Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae. Next, floral formula of three families: Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae. Next, economic importance of three families. Such type of comparative study is very important. Without comparison, you may not remember these many points. So in case of families, particularly, you must follow comparison. Floral diagram comparison, floral formula comparison, economic importance of three families comparison. Okay, you leave vegetative characters. Nobody asks any question from vegetative character. But floral characters, floral formula, floral diagram, economic importance of family, very, very, very important. That is about total morphology of flowering plants. It is a very lengthy chapter. It has many subtopics. Today we have discussed total 2 chapters: plant kingdom and morphology of flowering plants. These two chapters completed. Almost I covered almost all main points. Hope you understood. Watch this video properly, then go through NCERT, practice assignment, attempt exam, obviously you will get better score. But you must follow quick revision. Speed, fastness important. Thank you very much. Bye, see you and prepare well.